Okay, a pleasant good morning reaching out to each and every one. Welcome to the show, Cruising with the Case Handler. I am David Annakie. This show is about personal injury and it's about immigration. Today, right here on 93.5 WVIP FM, I have none other than Alan E.K., one of the top immigration attorneys at the firm, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. A pleasant, super good morning to you, Alan E.K. How are you?
Good, thank you. And how are you? Good morning.
I'm wonderful. You look like you're 18 years old again. I mean, you all clean shaven, haircut. I mean, you're making me look bad, man. Oh my God. Okay, there we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to be giving us an update on immigration updates, rather. So, stand by shortly for this from the immigration attorney at the firm, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Get ready with your questions also. And we also have Nelson Madrid making me look bad too. The guy's clean shaven. He's got that sharp, sexy haircut. Okay, the ladies are gonna be flocking to him, and your wife's gonna be beating up on you real soon. All right, how you doing today, Nelson Madrid?
Good. How are you, David?
I am wonderful, my brother. I'm wonderful. It's Friday, TGIF. We're ready to rock and roll. So you got the green shirt on, but St. Patty's Day's gone, man.
I know. I'm a little late. I've been really busy. It didn't occur to me to wear it on St. Patty's. Actually, my son's birthday is on St. Patty's Day. So I had a lot going on.
It's more in the sun part. I don't blame you, man.
Getting ready for his birthday.
How old is he now?
7.
7 years old, almost time for grad school.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. So we're here. Let's just rev up the audience on Facebook. Facebook viewers, can you do me a solid, please? I beg of you. Can you share what it is that you're watching? This immigration show, this personal injury show, this show from PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, and Link Up Media. Can you share that with everybody out there in groups, on pages, on timelines? Let them know that we're ready to answer all their immigration questions. I would appreciate that. If you're also listening on 93.5 WVIP FM, I know you all just spoke with Zenmar. I've been seeing the calls come in. But do me a favor, turn up your radios and text someone, call someone and tell them that the immigration attorneys are on the radio, 93.5 FM. The immigration attorneys are here to answer your questions. And yes, you can get those free consultations, but what really matters is you hiring them. Right now, if you'd like that free consultation, call them at 844-774-3529. Every single human being listening to us, watching us, if you would like to speak with someone at the firm PPID, that phone consultation is free. A miniature phone consultation, not a 1 hour free phone consultation. Let's get real. 844-774-3529. That's the phone number. That's 844-774-3529. 844 PPID law. Alan E.K., let's get up to speed, man. Let's see what's happening in and around this world of the United States of America with our great President Biden.
Okay, we've got a lot of stuff, and just cut me off when you run out of time.
Go ahead, man. Do your thing. We'll come to the questions. As we take those questions as they come in, I'll let you know. Go ahead.
One interesting thing is that President Biden has decided that we're not going to use the term alien anymore. We're now going to use the term non-citizen, much more pleasant. And people would think the term alien is somebody from another planet or something. So the term now for people who are not yet permanent residents, it's called non-citizen. The alien is out. The public charge rule that was where you had to put in a 944 form and a lot of pages, that's out also. That's vacated. So you don't have to worry about filling out this long and painful form, the 944. You don't have to worry about public charge anymore. There were also a proposed rule that would tighten up the affidavit of support. That's out also. Now we also have TPS, temporary protected status for Venezuela. Don't know if we have any people from Venezuela listening, but anybody from Venezuela, they will get temporary protected status for 18 months, permission to work, permission to travel, TPS. That's a good one. Removal proceedings keep getting pushed back, and I'm going to have Nelson comment on that. It's been latest it's postponed till April 16, 2021 in New York. So if you have a removal proceeding scheduled, you don't have a date, you're not detained, they keep pushing the date back and back and back. And lately they pushed the date back to April 16th. Nelson, you want to comment on that?
Well, there's not much to comment on other than, I don't know that there's necessarily a reopening date that anyone seems to know about. So, stay tuned.
There you go.
This affects people who have removal proceeding but don't have a date and they're not detained. And this is the New York City 3 immigration courts. Okay. Now, there's something called the Dream and Promise Act of 2021, which will help 2.5 million undocumented immigrant youths and long-term residents. This act, the Dream and Promise Act of 2021, has passed the House of Representatives and now goes to the Senate. Problem is that they'll need 60 votes to get through the Senate, and they need about 10 more Republican votes to do that. Also, there's a Farm Worker Modernization Act, which also passed the House. And so if we have anybody who is a farm worker or knows a farm worker, this Farm Worker Modernization Act could be very helpful to people. I know a lot of Jamaicans would come to the United States yearly and pick apples in the Northeast. So Farm Worker Modernization Act. Now also something new just came up, which is called the Citizenship for Essential Workers Act. This is introduced by Senator Elizabeth Warren and a couple of congressmen, and this will provide a path to citizenship for undocumented immigrants working in critical sectors such as healthcare, emergency response, sanitation, food services, agriculture, and meat processing. So this is a new act that was introduced into Congress, Citizenship Essential Act. We're going to keep an eye on that. We're going to keep an eye on the Dream and Promise Act, which will help young people. We're going to keep an eye on the Farm Worker Modernization Act. We also know that ICE arrests have fallen sharply, which is a good thing. And at the same time, there's a problem at American consulates because there are, in January 2020, there were 75,000 immigrant visa cases pending at the National Visa Center, ready to schedule for interviews. In February 2021, there were 473,000, 6 to 7 times greater cases waiting to be scheduled at American consulates. And a colleague of mine says this is a complete and utter mess. And she says it could be months, it could be even years before all these cases get scheduled for interviews, unless there's some drastic changes. So we've got a problem, people waiting for their interviews at American consulates. Only 90% of the 136 consulate posts around the world are processing some immigrant visa cases, and the remainder are only doing emergency services. So we've got a problem there also. So this gives you kind of an update on some of the things that are going on. Some of the stuff is legislative pending in Congress. We'll keep you informed on that. Removal dates keep moving up and up and up, and now it's April 16th. And then we've got the Dream and Promise Act to look at, the Farm Worker Modernization Act to look at, the Citizenship for Essential Workers Act to look at. These are some of the things that are going on right now. So that will give you an update, and we're ready if questions, anybody has any questions.
Alan, I have a question for you. So yes. You said it passed in the House. What does that mean? Does that mean it's law?
No, it means it passed the House of Representatives because the House of Representatives has a Democratic majority. But once it passes the House, it has to go to the Senate, which is split 50-50. So these acts which are going to the Senate now have to get 60 votes to get passed. And now they clearly have 50 votes, but they've got to get some Republican votes also to be passed into law. But the President Biden will sign them if it gets through the Senate. So that's the problem. These acts which have passed the House are now pending in the Senate. No problem to get 50 votes. We've got to get at least 10 Republican votes, and President Biden will sign it into law.
Got you. Wonderful. Well said. Well put, Mr. Alan E.K. Now, before we get into the questions here, gentlemen, just want to remind the folks out there once again, the show is called Cruisin with a Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration. Evidently, we're only doing immigration today. Many of you out there need to have your immigration questions answered. You may place them on my Facebook page, David Squeeze Annakie, or the firm's page, Pollack, Isaac, and the Seco, and the case handler. Now, Nelson, before we jump to the questions that I have here, I want for you to remind people what we can still do if we're non-citizens right now. Some of us, maybe not all of us, but what are some of the things that we can do to get into status? What are the ways, what are the options that we have, or that you know of, that you have been doing every day of your life for the past how many years?
Yeah, basically everything. You know, you can still file for adjustment of status. You can still file a VAWA. You know, VAWA applies to both men and women. You can do a U visa. I mean, you could do everything. You know, if you need a waiver, you could file waivers. You know, immigration is up and running. The only issue at the moment is, you know, obviously immigration is no longer scheduling, you know, maybe 100 people at the same time. You know, that number has significantly dwindled. They're probably interviewing, or they probably schedule maybe 20 people for one, you know, at one time to socially distance. But immigration is up and running. Everything is moving along. Things are still taking a little longer. You know, many people call and ask, what's the delay? You know, obviously we're in the middle of a pandemic. You know, sometimes I feel like that's a trick question. You know, people are still being vaccinated. You know, COVID is still spreading. Hopefully at some point, again, we can get back to normal, or, oh, I see you got a shot there, buddy.
Yeah.
What shot did you get?
Moderna.
I got Moderna. How'd you feel?
A little sore, but other than that, I'm okay.
You know, I immediately felt lightheaded.
Oh, really?
I had a headache for a few days thereafter. But I got the first dose of Moderna as well.
Yeah,
I got Moderna also.
Yeah, look at that.
Moderna guys.
Yeah.
Modern guys.
Moderna in the house.
I got both shots already.
Yeah, but there's a pandemic, people. So of course things have been slowed down. But you know, one of the things I want to talk with people about, and I got a lot of complaints from the attorneys about it, and I really want to talk with my people about it. And I really want you all to take me seriously. In my opinion, there's nothing more important than our status here in the United States if we're out of status, and to get into status. And a lot of people have been brainwashed and have been led to believe that to get into status, it should be free. And we have had thousands of people who have actually called the law firm. And yes, we have had people who have actually retained the attorneys to handle their cases. But a lot of people out there, they're not working on getting their status sorted out. You're out of status and you're in the United States and you would like to get your status sorted out for free. The part that I want to really focus on is the fact that, based on what the attorneys have been telling me, David Squeeze Annakie, and I've been doing immigration radio since 1996, the majority of the people wanting to get their case done for free are the ones that could potentially be put in removal proceedings. That is ridiculous, my people. That is crazy. Don't play around with your status here in the United States. Hire the attorneys, ask them about a payment plan, let them take care of it. If I were in your position, I'd feel a lot more safe having PPID, having Nelson Madrid, having Alan EK, having the Conrad Pollacks, having the Alexandra Bondakov handling my case. It's a very serious situation. Don't do your case yourself. Don't be shopping around for the cheapest person to handle something that is that serious. That's ridiculous. You have heard these guys on the radio for a while. I've been dealing with them for a while. So I say to you, yeah, you can go elsewhere, take a chance. But I always say, choose your weapons very careful. Hire the attorneys, let them do the dirty work. That's what they went to law school for. That's the reason why I keep attorneys around me. That's the reason why I have them as friends. That's the reason why I have them on 93.5 WVIPFM. The best advice I can give you is to call the attorneys, get a free initial consultation, and then work it out with them where retaining them is concerned.
What number to call?
844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. 844-PPID law. If you're smart, give them a ring right now. get the free phone consultation, and then hire them. Say, hey, I want to work it out with you with a payment plan. Hey, here's the money. Hey, here's my card. Here, I'm coming in to see you, Nelson. I'm coming to see you, Alan. Come on, I'm coming in to see you, PPID. Once again, do the right thing. Call PPID and get your immigration situation sorted out. 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID-LAW. Call them today, 844-774-3529. And it's serious, all right? All right, so let's go. Let's get into the questions that we have here, ladies and gentlemen. First question I have here is, can I visit my spouse in the United States while waiting for my green card?
Well, yes, you can. Number one, you need a visa to get here. And if you have a visitor's visa, you're halfway there. But when you get, even if you have a visitor's visa, when you get to the airport, they're going to ask you some questions. And if they see that there's an immigration case pending, they may give you a hard time because saying, well, you applied for an immigrant visa and you said you're coming to visit. How do we know you're really coming to visit and you're going to go back home? So that's one problem. And if you don't have a visitor's visa yet, you go into the American consul and apply for a visitor's visa, there's a question on the form, have you applied for an immigrant visa? When you say yes, they may not want to give you a visitor's visa. So could be a problem, but you got to tell the truth.
Mitchell to reception, please. Mitchell to reception.
You can't lie. And the question is, have you ever applied for an immigrant visa? Has anybody applied for you? You have to answer truthfully. And then the answer is, yes, I am. That's, even though it's true, I'm just coming to visit and I'm going back home. And the consul has to believe you and decide to give you a visitor's visa.
Gotcha. 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID-LAW. You in the Bronx, you in Brooklyn, you in Queens. Hey, dial the number, get the free phone consultation, then hire them. Get your immigration situation sorted out. 844-PPID-LAW. Let's get to another question right here on Cruising with a Case Handler. When I was about 13, the lady who raised me was migrating and wanted to adopt me so that she could file for me. My birth mother was not in agreement with it, so the filing was stopped. Her filing came through a few years later, and she migrated in 2005. She got her citizenship about 4 years ago. In 2016, I applied for a visa, but was denied. One of the questions asked in the interview was, have you ever been filed for before? To which I answered no. They then asked about her husband, who it turns out she was going to file for at the time too. I was not aware about the attempted filing back in 2003. I was only made aware when I went home and was relaying the questions and asked and my responses to my family. That's when they shared the filing details with me. I want to try again for a US visa now that I'm fully aware of what happened in 2003, but I don't know how to explain it to the consulate during the interview. What do you suggest?
It's not clear about what actually happened because it's not clear whether the adoption went through or not.
Exactly.
And when the adoption went through, because it depends on what age you were adopted. It's not clear what was filed after the adoption went through. So we need some more information to give you a good answer. And the best thing would be to call for consultation. Let us deal with this. We need more information.
It said also
something you might consider doing is doing Department of State FOIA and getting those records and seeing who and when they previously applied for you. You know, if someone did previously apply for you and you failed to disclose it, that could also be deemed as fraud. You know, so you may have a problem, right? I mean, so there now becomes a legal question of timely retraction. Well, you know, now I'll explain it. You know, the issue is when you applied for the visa the first time and you didn't provide that information, you know, again, that could be interpreted as you knew but failed to disclose intentionally, you know, and as we often say, you know, this is one of the reasons why you should really consult with an attorney. I feel like a broken record, but, you know, look, if things were as easy as they were, you know, something I often tell people, I would be unemployed and home.
That's
you
true.
know, it's not so simple. This is a perfect example of something that you thought was simple, and it could potentially have a lot of serious consequences. As I said, if they find fraud, you need a waiver. In order to apply for a waiver, you need a qualifying relative. A waiver is not just an application, it needs supporting evidence. So it's not something so simple. It's not something I recommend anyone do on their own.
Nelson, maybe you can explain what a FOIA is.
Before we get to that, gentlemen, Pollack here says, outside of that, I traveled twice on the summer work program in 2010 and 2011. I did not overstay, and they did look in my passport and confirm the same.
So far, so good. But when Nelson talks about filing a FOIA, FOIA is a Freedom of Information Act, which would get us the information we need about what happened when you filed before. It get us a look at your whole immigration file.
And David, just to add to that, it's very common, and I'm sure many immigration practitioners know this. Because you've traveled once or twice, it doesn't mean you're in the clear.
Right.
It could be a case of where the officer who actually admitted you or allowed you to come in wasn't paying attention or was confused and just let you in. It doesn't mean you will always be let in. It doesn't mean you will never have an issue. In fact, I've had clients travel 3 or 4 times, and the 4th or 5th time they're trying to come into the United States, they get put into secondary inspection. They get served with a notice to appear, and they find themselves in immigration court. And of course, the client says to me, well, what's the problem? I traveled 2 or 3 times before, I never had a problem. Because you never had a problem, it doesn't mean you're in the clear. It means no one has caught the fact that you have a problem, but the problem doesn't go away.
There you go. Thanks a lot for explaining that, gentlemen. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, if you'd like to get that free phone consultation on immigration with one of the attorneys, okay, reach out to Ralston, my Jamaican friend there at the firm. But I need for you to call before the top of the hour. Call before the top of the hour and let them know you want to speak with someone about your immigration situation. The initial consultation is free. It's a very short initial consultation. Call them now and let them know Sweet sent you. The number to call is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Make the call, ladies and gentlemen. 844-774-3529. And let them help you. 844-PPID-LAW. Let's get to another question here. Once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Do remember to share and tell someone about the show. It comes your way each and every single weekday at 9:30 a.m. live with the attorneys. All right, it says here, gentlemen, this one is the long one. 5 years ago, I took bad advice from a friend about working in the United States on my visitor's visa. Wow. Wow. Upon arriving at the port, I was processed, questioned, and found inadmissible. Consequently, I was asked to apply for a withdrawal of admission. I was in U.S. custody, and the next day I was sent back on a flight to Jamaica. In 2018, I applied but was told that due to my intention to violate the terms of my visa, I couldn't be granted a visa. I was also told by the consular officer to be more settled in my job and then reapply. What are my chances if I reapply now? I am settled in a job currently.
It depends on how long the time between when you left and how long have you been settled in your job back home. It could be a problem anyway, but yes, you can apply again. We want to know how long you've been back and how long you've been settled. And if you are working now and you have a job and you can show to the American consul that you're just coming for a visit and the job is going to be waiting for you, but it could be a problem. This is definitely a case where you want to come and talk to us and do a consultation. Nelson, you want to add anything?
No, what you said, I agree with.
All right. Another one here. By the way, folks, once again, the number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID-LAW. 844-774-3529. Final question. I am trying to establish whether or not getting married to my spouse will affect his filing process. In 2016 to 2017, his grandmother, who was a U.S. citizen, filed for him and his daughter. We would very much like to get married at the soonest, but he does not want to hinder the process of his filing. How will us getting married affect his filing, if at all? And what can be done to correct the effect should we get married? Can a grandmother file for someone?
No.
Well, that's what he said here.
Grandmother can file for sons and daughters, but not for grandchildren. No.
Yeah.
So what's probably happening is the grandparent filed for their child.
Yes.
Who then added
daughter who is
right.
the parent of this person.
Gotcha.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, that sounded a little bit weird.
David, you seem to know a lot about immigration.
Listen, man,
Hey,
I learned from the best man.
Are you planning to open up a storefront on Gun Hill and start getting
Hell freaking no. Hell no. I'm not in Brooklyn either. I'm not in Queens either. I'm not in Westchester County. Nowhere. No. This is emotion right here. No. Absolutely not. What do you think I got you guys for? Your good looks, your fresh haircuts? No. We got you to help out everyone that's out there who have immigration questions. That's the reason why they're going to hire you guys. The number, once again, is 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPIDLAW. 844-774-3529. You call Nelson. You call Alan. You call Conrad. You call Alexandra. You call the attorneys at PPID. You want to speak with a yard man, just link up Ralston and say, hey, Ralston, hook me up. I need that initial consultation for free. But the biggest mistake you can make is not to hire them. So make sure you hire the attorneys at 225 Broadway, which happens to be Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. We refer to them as PPID. The number, once again, is 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID law. Now, before we go, Nelson, what do you think of the personal injury department at PPID? Do you think it's a great department?
I think we have a great team. I think Adam is a great attorney. I work closely with Adam, especially when some of his clients have an immigration-related question or issue. Adam will not hesitate to literally walk to my office, knock on my door, and ask me if I could take a couple of minutes and speak to his client who's sitting in the conference room with him. And I think that says a lot. I think, again, obviously, he gives his clients priority. I think he obviously goes above and beyond to take care of them, and give them the best legal advice that he can, not just from him, but obviously from his team. So, big ups to Adam, who's not here today, but I'm sure he'll be with us next week.
Absolutely. And once again, just to reiterate, Adam Handler is one of the partners at the firm, just like Nelson Madrid, but Adam Handler runs the personal injury department. Now, what is the personal injury department? That is the department that takes care of you, God forbid you get hurt in an accident after you have sought medical attention. Those are the attorneys that will represent you to make sure that you get the maximum compensation possible in a settlement. Money. Yes, money is for your injury. And they're the ones that's been doing it for 15 solid years, ladies and gentlemen. He has settled well over $130 million for his clients. Give the firm a call. If you get hurt in an accident, you need Adam Handler. Slip and fall, construction accidents, medical malpractice, all these automobile accidents, call them at 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529, 844-PPID law. Also, why not go with a firm that has the most knowledgeable, experienced attorney in immigration? There is no other firm that has Alan E.K. It's just PPID. All right. This man has the links, the connections, the wherewithal to help a lot of people who have immigration issues. Reach out to that firm. Ask for the general, Alan E.K. He works with his teammates to make sure you get the best possible service when it comes to immigration. Powerful attorneys, my friends at PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Once again, their number is 844-774-3529 with offices in Peekskill, Brooklyn, and New York City. You can't go wrong. Get that immigration consultation, which is free initially. 844-774-3529. Thank you all so much. Have yourself an amazing weekend. do everything I would do. 844 PPID law. Thank you so much. Take care.
It's 10 o'clock.